Reflection for Remembrance Sunday. My teenage upbringing in the 1960s was in the parish of St Margaret Dunamassy, Altrincham, Cheshire, before liturgical revision began. Sunday services were all Book of Common Prayer, 8 o'clock Holy Communion, at which I served, then 11 o'clock Matins and 6:30 Evensong, singing in the choir at both. The parish communion movement, as it became known, brought in an additional 9:30 said service of Holy Communion with hymns. As the Church of England embarked upon Series 1, then 2, reshaping the liturgy, both were still in traditional language. Then Series 3, which was the breakthrough into contemporary language. The alternative service book was a 20-year experiment from 1980 and heralded the suite of services we have in the Library of Common Worship, which continues to evolve and grow from its inception in the year 2000. In all this, it is helpful to remember that liturgy is the prayerful work or service for the people. Remembrance Sunday, as observed here at the Cathedral, is one of the Sundays when choral matins returns, and the beauty and impact of choral evensong subsists earlier in the day through the beauty of a similarly shaped liturgy with biddings, versicles or praeses and responses, canticles and collects. The feel is the same but clearly different. Its rarity these days is often thought to be a loss, and where the principal service of Sunday across the Church of England is most often parish communion, however named, the lack of a priest to celebrate or preside often demands a service of the word, though it is rare for this to be matins these days. It's 536 years now since Thomas Cranmer's martyrdom, but the contribution of his Book of Common Prayer to our national life in terms of language and common parlance is immense, often quoted in the same breath as William Shakespeare and other notables. What was his intention? Cranmer saw the need for an overhauling of pre-Reformation liturgy in a number of areas. Greater simplicity, more congregational involvement, not just as spectators, and in the language of the people, such that would be intelligible. Importantly, Cranmer perceived a need for more teaching of the people through sermons and reading of scripture. He wanted a better informed laity, all of which is as important today as it was then, perhaps even more so. Something intelligible, participatory, and consistent of the tradition out of which it springs. In other words, distinctively Anglican. What Cranmer gave us, and which the liturgical commissions since have striven to also provide, is a prayer book and liturgy which is beautiful. The beauty to which we respond lies in the words used and the rhythm seen notably in the litany and the collects. But there is also poetry implicitly, and it is the poetry which makes the work so memorable. It is as if Cranmer understood, either consciously or intuitively, that the language of religion must always be the language of poetry, which through its pulse manages to engage and expand the human spirit, awakening the imagination, opening the doors of perception, giving us access to regions which transcend those merely observable, taking us indeed to the gate of heaven. If we are to lift the souls of our fellow human beings above the humdrum routine and often banal, we need to take great care in the construction, conduct, and delivery of worship. In striving for beauty, we all have a part to play. Through worship carefully and sensitively offered, be it prayer book or common worship, the world can be drawn to God. At services of national observance, such as on this day, we do well to tap into this rich inheritance, as well as a contemporary engagement with exhibitions such as Moments of War in our cloister, and which is why the memorability of passages from the Bible is so often sought by the yearning for the comfort of God's holy word in the King James or authorised version of the Bible, as embedded, of course, in the Book of Common Prayer. The words of the hymn forever associated with this day stand as surety of God's love and his constancy, which we access through the lens of worship. O God, our help in ages past, our hope for years to come, be thou our help while troubles last, and our eternal home. Every blessing.